Hey everybody, it's GauntletX and welcome back to another premiere draft of Final Fantasy. Let's just get right into this one. We've got a great pack here. Summon Primal Odin is our rare, excellent card, a 6 mana 5/3 that blows up one of your opponent's creatures and then immediately makes your opponent lose the game if they don't block it the next turn. And if they can block it, then the final chapter of the saga is that you are going to get to draw 2 cards and have each player lose 2 life. So one of the worst case scenarios on this card is that you cast it, blow up whatever you need, and then your opponent casts a removal spell. That's already a 2-for-1. You killed one of their creatures and one of their removal spells. Best case scenario, you just win the game on chapter 2. And a nice middle ground, if it sticks around for the full abilities, it's also a 3-for-1. Blow up a card and draw 2 extras. So really excellent way to start the draft. Pretty simple pick here. Pick 2, we have Dragoon's Lance. This is one of the best uncommons in the whole set. Really efficient, a 2-mana 2/1 flyer. Flying creatures, of course, a great way to get damage in throughout the game. And you can you can move, re-equip, there we go. Re-equip or move this equipment later in the game to any creature to make sure it's a big threat. It's very funny with Primal Odin. If they don't have a flying blocker, in fact, if they don't have 2 of them, we could play this, blow up their flying or reach creature, and then next turn just re-equip that Dragoon's Lance onto the Odin instead of the hero token if we draw those both in the same game, which is pretty nasty. So that's a really cool synergy there, while also just Dragoon's Lance being my favorite card in the pack. These other uncommons are really solid as well, but they're a little more narrow, obviously, for rampier decks that hit high mana values, rather than the Lance that just fits into any deck playing white. Pick number 3, there's a white Aura Sight, excellent removal spell in white to go with our Dragoon's Lance. It also works perfectly fine with the Odin, being a removal spell that ramps us up as well, gets us towards that 6 mana. There's also a Fat Chocobo here, one of the best commons in the set, great at just making a wide board. Hecdize is quite solid, Swallowed by Leviathan's a good counterspell, just a really nice pack so far. Pick number 4. We've finally taken a tiny hit in card quality in the colors that we're currently drafting. The black spell is incredibly filler, and the white spells to an extent as well. Slash of Light, probably the best. Galacat, you really need to have 2 artifacts on the board for this to be worth it, which is really only going to be consistently working in Boros and red-white. The best cards here are blue-red spells cards, the Emperor of Palamecia and Combat Tutorial, which is a little awkward. It's still very early in the draft. We're not married to either of these 2 colors, but I do think we'd be really unlikely to push off of both of them towards blue-red, so I'll take the Combat Tutorial as the best mono-colored off-color card in the pack. Pick number 5, still get a Zac Fair here. So we're getting solid white cards decently late at least. I mean, the Hecdize isn't bad either. It's pretty decent black in this pack too. Just had that one pack where we really missed. Pick number 6. The blue spells are once again the best cards in this pack by quite a lot. Ice Magic and Syncopate both being great interaction. The Ice Magic is super flexible, deals with anything that has landed on the board, whereas the Syncopate is generally more efficient, and the fact that it exiles to stop them from flashbacking or reanimating is pretty dang nice. I do think the Syncopate is generally more narrow though, so I will take the Ice Magic. Pick 7, there's a Shiva still here. It's pretty wild. The Wall of Omens is also good for slower white decks. If you're not like a pure dedicated aggro build, then a 2-mana 0/4 that draws you a card is just a good rate. You know, if I end up in blue-white, I could see a flying deck with a Wall of Omens on the ground as being good, and we can just get real deep into white here. I mean, I am almost Shiva's #1 fan, though. Yeah, I'm still just going to take Shiva. I really like this card. So blue-white is certainly looking the most likely at this point. We saw a couple copies of Hecdize in black. That's kind of all we saw that could have stuck us to that color. We had an opportunity to take a Hecdize like pick 3 and pick 5, and then I don't think we saw much in black outside of those. Well, this is easy speculation here. We're not the most likely to still end up in black, like I've been saying, but I would still rather take a pretty solid build around uncommon for that color pair than just the Crossroads Village style fixing just in case black still ends up open enough to be drafted here, because if it is, we're going to want to play it because we have the Primal Odin as well. So just on that off chance that black actually is open enough to draft, we'll get another card deep into that color pair. Random cat here. There's some decks where Ring of the Lucy is playable. Would not be what we're doing right now, but depending on what we draft. If we get multiple copies of the 7 mana, put 4 1/1s and a +++ counter on everybody card, you'll actually take the ring. I think it's more important to the deck if it ends up being playable than the cat is. The cat is just never important to the deck. Although it's very rare when the ring is important. It's just when it is, it's super important. So I just like to have that just in case. Okay, now we can take a cat. Call the Mountain Chocobo, pick 12 there. That's pretty nice. Towards red, but pretty unlikely to be there. Oh no! See, that's always awkward. When a color isn't particularly open, but you open multiple powerful rares in that color. White is open enough in this pod that I think it could carry us here. And we could play a black-white deck deep into white, and then just playing our strong black rares that we open here. It is hard to pass up on being able to run both Summon Primal Odin and Vincent Valentine, just because we opened 2 black rares in a row. Sadly, we pass up on a Vane's Treachery here, and we're not likely to be very heavy on removal, because black's pretty contested. We've seen no black removal spells throughout the entirety of Pack 1. But we are getting passed from a different direction. We'll see here. I'm going to take Vincent Valentine, and we hope black's a little more open from this direction than it was during Pack 1. And there's at least a Vane's Treachery here, which we'll definitely take. We need to take the interaction highly. We don't have a lot of it right now. Pick number 3, there's the black-white Judge Magister Gabranth. 2 mana, 2/2 menace that keeps getting bigger as your other stuff dies. Pretty solid. Very into that. We're only on 1 equipment right now. I'm not interested in the weapons vendor until I have more. The value of the weapons vendor is that if you care about both of these abilities, it becomes a pretty decent card. If the only thing you cared about was like moving equipment around, then it wouldn't be that useful. But the fact that it also draws you a card makes it so that the upfront cost isn't that bad. But if you only care about the upfront cost of a 4 mana 2/2 that draws you a card, then it is still pretty slow. Pick number 4. I'm gonna have to run some Slash of Lights for interaction, which I really don't want to do. Maybe splash in like Sleep Magic if we draft a bunch of Blitz Balls and treasure tokens and stuff. Splash in Sleep Magic and Ice Magic. Really not end up doing that either. Would rather not end up doing that. Yeah, I'll take a Slash of Light. Phantom Train is kind of for the black-white archetype, but we don't have a ton of expendable stuff to sacrifice yet. I mean, obviously Shinra helps a lot, but we want more job select cards and token producers. If we get there, though, I think Phantom Train's gonna be better than Weapons Vendor because we're still on 1 equipment here. Pick 6. Monk's Fist is reasonable filler, making a couple of our cards a little bit better, our Slash of Light and our Phantom Train in particular. Yeah, alternatively Capital City towards splashing. If you count Primal Odin as removal, which he just straight up is, we're actually not doing that bad. We got 4 removal spells here. Yeah, this looks like a super reasonable looking deck right now. This would have been a great pod to be in blue still, though. Card collection here, pick 7. This card's been a lot better than it looks. It's just kind of trivially easy to flip it most of the time. So it's like a 4/4 flying crew 1 that just gives you card draw immediately. Card's been good. Aerith Rescue Mission. If there was ever a deck for it, be one with Phantom Train most likely. Pick 9. Nothing. Pick 10. Nothing. God, I need to find 8 playables in pack 3 ideally. We've got a good curve. We have a decent amount of removal, especially if you treat the ring with the tapping as pseudo removal. We're in an okay spot where I need to find a good chunk of playables, but if the playables that I find end up being like genuinely solid cards, then this deck will look really good, and if they're filler, then the deck will be mediocre. We'll see. Cornered by Black Mages is really good. We opened a Jill, though. If we were in blue, man. The 2020 hindsight, just stick the blue, give up on black. Blue-white deck here would be pretty sick. Although we didn't see a lot of good white in that pack. So maybe some kind of blue-black deck or something. The full pivot onto blue-red I think actually would have worked out pretty well. I mean, we got a really late call the Mountain Chocobo, so if I just scooped up that blue-red signpost uncommon and just gave up on every card that I drafted so far, I don't know, that didn't seem reasonable with such premium cards as a Primal Odin and a Dragoon's Lance, and it was only pick 4, so it was really early to just completely ditch those colors. But again, one of those hindsight things where it's like, I guess if I knew exactly how the draft was going to go, we could have done that. But that would have been really unlikely. So far, so good out of this pack, though. Cornered by Black Mages, Ambrosia Whiteheart. Solid start here. Nibelheim of Flame, incredible red spell. Again, if we had stuck towards blue-red. I say stuck towards blue-red. We were never even close. If we moved to blue-red. Delivery Moogle. 3 for 3 on excellent cards for this deck. This gets to pick up our Dragoon's Lance, and if we're a little bit unlucky and have already drawn the Lance, then we've got a backup card. We can pick up a Monk's Fist instead, unless we get really unlucky and we draw both the Lance and the Fist before drawing the Moogle. Pick 4, Battle Menu, flexible removal spell that kills later game creatures while also being an early game creature of our own so that we can get aggressive. Love this card. Fate of the Suncrest is also pretty good, but I like the flexibility on Battle Menu a lot. And that is 4 for 4 on very quality cards getting added to the deck. This might end up being an actual banger here. Pick number 5. Well, there you go. There's the end to the high card quality. I don't think this is actually a good Shinra Reinforcements deck because we don't care about what's in our grave at all. There's no flashback and no graveyard recursion. So I might just take another 6-drop to ramp into, like especially if we don't have enough playables that we end up needing to play this ring as well. Then we've got 2 pieces of ramp. Our curve stops at 4 outside of the Odin, so just 2 random finishers, I guess. That was the first minor dud of a pack, and then we're back to the goodies. Another Rufus to go with the Phantom Train pretty well. Works the Judge Magister well, just good stat lines up front. I think I can take that over Fate. We're on 5 removal spells, and Odin, that's 6 removal spells. Come on in, Rufus. Pick 7, Paladin's Arms is a solid card. Okay. Yeah, we've done very well. Very, very well in pack 3. A second Phantom Train is pretty fun. Could also go for the Crystals Chosen at the top of the curve. If I run the Crystals Chosen, I think I'll be running Auracite and Ring towards it. Second Phantom Train's cool. I haven't done it very often, but I think Crystal Chosen has just been consistently pretty great for me, so I'm going to take that here. Now a Crossroads Village. 24 cards. Probably cut the ATM now. And there's some fixing. There's nobody in blue-red. 11. There's a cat here. Is that actually playable in this deck? 6 artifacts? Probably not quite. I like it better than second reinforcements, at least. We'll swap the 3-drop for another 3-drop. Pick 12. Black-white dual land. Beautiful. Poison the Waters. You can run this card if you want. It's too high variance for me. It's either very good or completely useless, and I do not like cards like that. So if you top deck it in the late game, it doesn't do anything, or you could just cast it when your opponent doesn't have an artifact in their hand. It does add to the flexibility of the all creatures get -1/-1 until end of turn, but that is yet another ability that's like either very good or completely useless. And the fact that we are a deck with a lot of 1 toughness creatures makes that part worse as well, so not into the Poison of Waters here. All right, well, ended up with a very solid deck here, I think. We've got a Vincent Valentine and a Primal Odin for bomb rares. We've got a nice creature token strategy going for us, where we've got quite a lot of creatures in here. Quite a lot of tokens, so we can buff them all up with the crystals chosen and get a super wide, super powerful board, or we can sacrifice them to our Phantom Train to get just a really big trampler swinging in, or we could just be trading them off and chump blocking with them, buffing up our Judge Magister. Looks like a really solid deck with a lot of play to it, so I'm excited to see how it does. So without further ado, let's hop into the gameplay. All right, here we are for game 1 on the draw. This is a testy keep here. We're on mono black, but I do have a removal spell for their first threat, and then I have Vincent and Odin coming up later in the curve. If we hit a plains, this hand works excellently. I have 2 creatures, and they're both castable off of just 1 plains. Then I'll have 3 mana total, and I'll have the white source. If I don't hit the plains, if my opponent's hand isn't great, I could still maybe hit some good stuff. This feels too risky, right? Because if I don't hit the plains, even if I keep hitting swamps, like turn 4 I'm playing a 2/2 that doesn't do anything by itself. I'm feeling like being irresponsible today though, so here we are. Playing against Boros, not a good color pair for a really slow hand that could fall apart. Oh god, we drew the most expensive spell in the whole deck. You love to see it. Let's blow this up while they're tapped out. They could be running combat tricks in Boros. There are playable white combat tricks. In red, not really, but in white for sure. Alright, well. We draw 3 more white spells for all 3 draws. There's the poo-poo UFO. 4 in a row. Yeah, this is a bummer. If we drew 1 plains, there's only 1 creature that's actually damaging us right now, and we have multiple blockers we could have cast by now. But that is 5 for 5 on spells as the draws instead of lands. It's extra disappointing. It's extra disappointing just to see that our opponent doesn't even have that much going on. So this hand could have got there with like uplanes. Obviously the 4 wizards are like gonna mega kill me now, but they wouldn't have had any if I just had the blockers for the queen. Rough. I mean, better yet, if we drew plains turn 1, then we would just not removal spell this and have the removal spell left for the queen. Alright, kept a risky hand, and we got punished pretty bad for it. I think that was 1 land and 6 draws. So, it is what it is. Should have mulligan there, obviously in hindsight, but I think even without hindsight, regardless of what cards end up being on top of our deck, if we think about the odds of what we're drawing there, as I said when I decided to keep it, I think that was too much of a gamble there. but I was hoping. I believed in the heart of the cards, and I got heartbroken. Hello, Zach. Hey, Rufus. Solid draw. Actually quite good with the Phantom Train here. Magitech Infantry. Nom, 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 nom. My Chocobo gets to eat delicious humans. Soldiers for breakfast. This... B. I'll hold up a Slash of Light here in case something really weird happens with some sort of combat tricks. I could also cast Phantom Train pre-combat so that if they have a removal spell that they want to target one of these with, I can sack them in response and get a +1/+1 counter out of the exchange. Like if they have the Destroy Target Tapped Creature removal spell specifically, then Phantom Train is better here. Okay, we're just going to trade with the infantry or use a Slash of Light. Cool to trade with infantry. Well, actually, this is quite good. I shouldn't have played my land yet. I could play a tap land here since I did end up slashing. Not that it's likely to matter, because next turn I just play a 4-drop in the tap land, but it could if I top deck like a 1-mana card. Although I don't have any. If I top deck a 2-mana card, I could have played Aura Sight untapped land and played it. That's a good draw. Oop. They're down to 8. Lionheart. There goes our 3/2. Still taking 4 a turn. Sure. Kind of awkward how low they are on life, because it's like I could sack Darkstar, then attack and make a new one. But then I'm hitting for 2 less damage just to get 1 counter on the train for later. That's a better combo when they have like a 3/3 blocker up or something to where the 2/2 can't attack in anyway. Then it's like, oh yeah, free sack. There's the Lance. They're currently incredibly dead to the Phantom Train. I am probably supposed to Aura Sight here, just to maximize the odds of lethaling right now. Lower the number of outs they can have, because with no blockers on the board, it needs to be multiple removal spells. I can actually sack the Aura Sight and keep all my threats. Alright, still 4 damage on board. And that's lethal. Alright, that is 1-1 heading into game 3. Here we are for game 3. Questionable hand, somewhat similar to our first hand. It's stuck on 1 color and only 2 lands. But this time there are 4 castable spells no matter what. I think this is genuinely just a keep. Unlike our first hand. Playing against Rakdos here, we do find the swamp. That's pretty beautiful. Let's get some flyers down. This also makes the Slash of Light as active as possible. Even if they kill the hero token, Slash of Light is still there for 1. Sure, corner the hero token, you got it. I could also Ambrosia back the Lance to get another creature out of it as a turn 4 play. If I hit 4 mana. It's actually quite exciting to me. I think I'll lead with the cat for that reason. Although I could play Ambrosia, pick up the Lance, and then next turn go 2/2 drops. That's an option too. But I'll just lead with the cat here. Because that's only going to work out if I hit a 4th land next turn. Okay, I don't hit a 4th land, so I just play a 3-drop Rufus instead that we drew off the top. Treachery, just the cat? You got it. I don't even like this cat. I didn't even want to put it in my deck. I drafted that thing with like 2 cards left in the pack. Alright, overkill on Rufus. All removal all day, the deck. Well, what do you say about double creature this turn? Probably cornered by black mages again. Or something. Okay, nope. Card draw, Circle of Power. Then get another wizard. Well, my hand is literally all removal, so it's time to start clearing out some wizards. So I don't have to worry about the ping damage so much. At the very least, I'm just playing the Aura Sight to ramp up and hold up another removal spell for next turn. But if they get to the end step and don't play another creature, I might just kill another wizard token here. I despise you, Hecdies. Genuinely very, very good on this board. I have no idea what I'm supposed to discard here. Probably the ring. I'm at 6 mana. I have enough to cast every spell in my deck except my 1/7 drop already. So probably the ring. Oh, 1 out of 27. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. If it's any consolation, I still wouldn't be able to cast it this turn because I'd have to cast the ring right now. But it would guarantee I'm casting it next turn. Cecil. I think we let Cecil vibe and kill it after it flips so that they take extra damage. Oh boy, that is kind of spicy. Do this pre-combat so my Slash of Light is bigger in response to shenanigans. This is not shenanigans. Lifelink. There's the gain 2 from the lifelink. Yeah, Circle of Power is pretty clutch. Yeah, so take your 2 damage. But also I kill that. Well, shoot. I'm not gonna +0/+4 here. It would be better to just make a 2/2 than keep a 1/1. If that's how we end up casting that. And by holding it, I can also blow up a big creature if they play one. So, 2 non-lands in a row. We do get punished for not holding the ring there. Oh, Jesus. Sorceress's Schemes, so they can cast a 3rd and then 4th Circle of Power. That'll do it. Card is excellent. Probably just needed the Treachery of Wizard there. Stop gaining life, please. Now, if I hit the Crystal's Chosen Mana, they're kind of dead. Hey. Okay, maybe? No more wizards and I'm at 6. It'd be somewhat difficult to just kill me. I mean, if they have Choco Comet also. Oh. That was wild. I would say that was a really lucky draw, but it was a land. We have like 17 in the deck, obviously. Oh, all right. Stressful game. They were popping off. They were real close to getting the last few points of chip damage off. They went Circle of Power, Sorcerer Schemes, Circle of Power, and they could have done it again with the flashback. Yeah, the full-on Black Mage control stuff over there. Strong stuff. But we narrowly get there in time. That is 2-1 heading into game 4. Both our colors, only 2 lands here, but we're on the draw and have 4 castable spells, so I will keep that. I do need double black, so we'll lead with tapped black source. I guess worst case scenario, what's kind of cute is the white heart could pick up the village, but we hit a second white, so we won't need to do that. Yeah, we'll start with the white heart. It attacks as a 3/2. No enter the battlefield value, but that's fine. Sahagins are not fine. This is a horrifying start from any blue deck. You see 2 Sahagins in a row, get ready for them to play the 4 mana, make a 3/3 spell, and then they're both 2/4s that are unblockable. And then they can flash that back on 6 and make them 3/5s that are unblockable. This is scary. This is a threatening start from our opponent. Very strong start. This is power 4 or greater, so would have to wait until the Sahagins have already dealt like 5 damage to us. A 2 power unblockable, a 3 power unblockable. Then once they're 4 power, I can kill 1. Can I just pass through here? Cool. Work our way towards Primal Odin. They play a 4 mana instance and my attack is horrible. And even if they don't, it's not great. I think I just play an Aerith Rescue Mission and juice up the Slash of Light. Worst case scenario, they counter that and then there's no counter left for Odin. Or at least that counter is no longer left for Odin. Yep, Syncopate is very good with Sahagins. But the Sahagins are the real problem here, not really the Syncopate. Oh, holy Sahagin. The 2 mana, 3/5 unblockable. Pretty decent deal. And they don't even need unblockable now because they're 3 power, 5 toughness. We can't block that profitably whatsoever. We're dead real quickly. The double counterspell hand. Alright, I mean, you got me. That's the case. I guess I can Shinra reinforcements in battle menu here. Hoping they cast the 4-drop so we kill one Sahagin that way. I mean, they just hold 5 up and pass. It's way too likely to beat a counter to go for the Primal Odin, I think. 3 spells, no! This does mean battle menu is probably getting countered. Stuck in Summoner Sanctum, sure. Okay. Still have Syncopate for 1. No, you were supposed to play a 4-drop. Oh my god, I'm so dead. The triple Sahagin squad. Alright, I'm dead to a 4-mana spell. Like, majorly dead to a 4-mana spell. With double Sahagin on board over there. Oh, I have to just trade here. And then try to outrace the Sahagin at 4 life. This is not a great game here. They have 5 lands on board, 2 cards in hand. They didn't play a land last turn. They have at least 1 spell in their hand here. If it's a creature and I try to just like keep Odin around past top deck removal, that feels so sketchy. This trade is the only way that I don't die to them top decking a 4-mana non-creature spell. Right, if I just take this and go to 1, sure, I can battle many of the 4 power Sahagin, but I die to the other one with unblockable. But if I do take this trade, I'm in a top deck war. If I don't take this trade, Odin also just kills me on chapter 3. Yeah, no, I have to take this trade. Whoa! I want to be in that draft pod. 4 Sahagin, not even halfway through the deck. Yeah, we're approximately as dead can be. Okay. They flood a little. We flood a little. Go, go, go. We gotta push damage. Give them less top decks. Would you like to counter this unless I pay 5? Nope. That was an exceptional turn. The race is really on now. They're at 3. They're flooding. They're... Oh my god. No. No. Alright, well. We put them to 1 here. Unless their last card is removal. Oh, they also get to surveil too, and something good on top. Oh, if they keep 1 on top, that's such a bad sign for me, because they would only keep it if it's really good when they're going to be a 1 life here. That's not good at all. Okay, so an Ultros. Okay, I guess, yeah, they just keep it if it's enough to not literally die the next turn. That is enough to not literally die here. I think I send again and trade into the Ultros so that they don't have the ability to tap and stun this flyer. They need to just immediately find a way to deal with the flyer. Yeah, now they can't flash back a Dreams of Laguna and tap and stun with Ultros. It has to be an actual removal spell or stun spell, not an Ultros triggered ability, removal spell or stun spell. This is bad. I do think I have to put that on top, but this is bad. If they double 4 mana spell, we're dead. But if they don't, then they can't attack with Sahagin, because then I crack back for lethal. Man, yeah, it's so hard. I don't think I can put Cat on bottom here. I just need them to not hit. Alright. Yeah, if they 4 mana spell again here off the top, we're dead. Let's see. I don't think I have a faster way to kill them in this deck than drawing Cat that turn. Like, the only reason to put Cat on bottom would be to try to draw the one other removal spell that's left in my deck. That can't be right. Gaius. And it works. Well, if we hit the one other removal spell, we win. That does not win. Because they get an extra turn with Ultimecia, and they surveilled a card to the top, which means they have the 4 mana value spell. Rough. That is way closer than I thought we were going to get, though, against friggin' Quad Sahagin, the full play set this game. Yep, there's the 4 mana value card. Alright. I think that's like as close as we could have got there. That was just an incredible draw from our opponent with a really solid deck. 2-2 it is, heading into game 5. Here we are for game number 5 on the play. Nice little curve here into the Vincent. I will have to play a tap on at some point. I think we do it turn 3 with this hand. You know what? I'm actually just going to do it turn 2. That way I could save battle menu against a green deck specifically to blow up a creature with toughness 4, or sorry, power 4 or greater, to get a million counters on Vincent, potentially. Rufus Shinra was a great draw. This cat is pretty mid right now. Summon Fenrir. Vincent's great against Sagas because they sack themselves. I have 2 ways to play this. I could drop Vincent right now, or I could try to wait till I have 6 mana. So I have a +0/+4 trick for him, which I think is reasonable against a red deck, because they could shoot it for 2. Or even against green removal, that's pretty decent. I think I need to just make them have it here, though. So if they don't have the removal right now, Vincent wins. And if I try to wait for Vincent, he's going to be really, really late. And they could easily still just have removal at that point. Like, I don't even know if I'm going to hit the 6th land. There's no guarantee here. Yeah, and Chocobo Kick would kill him even with battle menu up. If they chose to kick and return a land. So if they play around the battle menu later, then we couldn't stop that. Fenrir is going to draw them a card here. And kill the Ifrit. And play a cat. Okay, they might not know that Fenrir is going to draw them a card there, because I could play a bigger creature here, or they might not realize that it does count itself before it dies. Chapter 3 of the saga, you draw and then sack it, technically. As far as I remember, like, maybe I'm wrong on that, but I think it does let you do the thing. I'd like to get my dog back. And I can't without attacking with Rufus, so I gotta clear that out to attack with Rufus. Delivery Moogle, obviously very tempting there, but let's get our board wide again. Thunder Magic the dog. Not the worst thing in the world to die to a Thunder Magic, because we might be able to get it back later if Rufus sticks around. There I go, opening up my mouth. Watching Rufus die. Alright, well, let's see how they deal with a boatload of flyers. Oh my god, I clicked the all attack button, I'm so dumb. I got lazy and clicked too fast. The perks of playing digital magic. Okay, Earth Crystal is useless. Well, once they have 6 mana, it'll do something, but not enough here. Wanderings is a cute combo with it. Double up the counters. Hit for 5. Could stun the Chocobo or just play 3 Chompers, and they don't have any trample tricks on the board, so I think 3 Chompers is just better. Just blocks the Chocobo longer. Alright, that's good enough. That is 3 and 2, heading into game number 6. Here we are on the draw for game number 6. This is a great opening hand. We got a Lance, a Judge, a Rufus, a Whiteheart, and an Earth Rescue Mission. Just gonna list every single card we have, because I like them all. Except Rescue Mission. This card's kind of mid, but I like it in this deck. It's good with the Judge Magister, for sure. Top deck a land, pretty good draw. Playing against blue-red, the strongest deck in the format. I don't want any of this to get syncopated, which is a 2-drop they could have. Flash in a Whiteheart during their end steps, they'd have to tap out for a counterspell during their turn, and not have it up for my turn 3 play. The alternative is to just slam down the Lance towards maybe Whiteheart recast Lance later. But I like flashing in a creature during their end step here to start us off. And it's Grixis, so full-on Grixis control colors. Start with a 3-mana 4/1, you got it. Double Rufus. Well, we're definitely playing a Rufus then, because Legend Rule goes hard. There was going to be an argument to play the Judge, then attack with Whiteheart, but drawing the second Rufus, I need this guy to die. Red Mage's Rapier does not do much, but that Great Sword is going to make it so any creature they play gets big enough to trade off here. But we end up a creature off Rufus's ability, and then we get to just play the next Rufus. Good deal. Looks like they're much deeper into the Rakdos stuff than the blue stuff here. Probably double spell with some 2-drops here. We'll wait till post-combat and see if they tap out a blue to deal with Rufus. They certainly do. Okay. So I think I still have to go wide. Although Phantom Train hits so hard in the future. I want to go big. I'm gonna do a Phantom Train game this time. I still have not done anything with this card, and I would like to. So we're gonna set it down here and get that going next turn. Blazing Bomb. And a Wizard. Alright, yeah, Phantom Train's gonna do stuff. No blue up, so we just play Rescue Mission here. Choo-choo. Chump a couple damage, take 5, go to 10. Resentful Revelation. Great card selection here. Best card out of the top 3 goes to the hand, everything else to the grave for any flashback shenanigans, and they have flashback shenanigans. Mill a Call the Mountain Chocobo. And then cast a Quistis. That was a really good turn for our opponent. Actually, flashback our spell here? No, they don't. They just flashback the Revelation. Okay. I lied. They didn't have a particularly good card to flashback with Quistis. If there was a 2-mana removal spell in a grave, then that would have been a really good turn for our opponent. Like if they milled a suplex and then they suplexed our Phantom Train, that would have been a bad time for us. Just gonna bomb a 1/1. That feels really good for me. I can probably kill them here if I just play enough stuff to sack. This feels probably lethal. I'm just gonna go for it. We'll see how the math does. Yeah, this is lethal. Phantom Train is wild. Okay, well, I have now played one game where I got to use Phantom Train well, and it was huge. Literally. 9/9 trample at the end there. Pretty cool stuff. Also, the combo with the judge is great. That was pretty sick. That is 4-2 heading into game 7. Here we are for game 7. This is a very high mana curve hand. I'm not super into it, but we've got the 1/2 drop at least to get us going. It's a 2, a 4, a 4, and a 7. There's a 3, and now it's looking very reasonable. I would have snap kept this with the Paladin's Arms in it. Black-white mirror match. I'm not going to battle menu plus block, because then we just trade anyway. Get a Rufus Shinra here, that's good. Some good draws so far. Drop the Phantom Train. If they go like double block on Rufus, oh, they're over it. Wow. All right, well that was easy. I don't even think I would want to. If they double block Rufus, it would be like, all right, yeah, I'll kill both those. Keep the 2/2, but just having the train for later is really good, and it's very good in a hand with Rescue Mission and Crystals Chosen. I think it's gonna be huge. Yeah, I guess their hand sucked or something. We are 5-2 now, which means we're in the money no matter what, and a very positive record out of this draft. That is an awesome spot to be. 1,600 gems as the lowest possible prize out, but we'll see if we can't take it any farther. We've rallied this far from 2-2 to 5-2, so see if we can't keep it going head into round number 8. Reasonable hand here. We're on the draw again. Keep this. Probably just leading with Ambrosia for 3 damage a turn, although now that Ambrosia is literally just gonna trade into another 2/2 Chocobo, I will trade the weaker creature off. More than happy to trade into a combat trick. Less happy to trade into Wanderings specifically, but it still soaks up their whole turn. Here's Rufus Shinra. Take 4 turn from this little Chocobo. Oh man. That is quite the curve out from our opponent. Turn 4, Fat Chocobo on the play. I could double spell here. Play Ambrosia, pick up the Plains, play the Plains battle menu. But I'm slowing down my mana a lot to do that, which I don't think is good in a deck that has a 6 and a 7 mana card we can draw into. So I'm just gonna only kill the fat Chocobo there. Oh Lord, have mercy on me. The green-white Saga's deck popping off. No Garnet. If they had a Garnet, I'd be even more scared. But I'm still super dead. Double combat trick opener. That one's trample too, so we're at 6. Alright, well. This is real bad. We need to draw one of our pretty strong cards. I feel like I've only drawn Odin in one game today, but I might be wrong. Oh, we drew him in that one game that we could have mulliganed. Just drew 0 lands and died. So we've drawn him in at least 2 games. Their deck is terrifying. They have the Traveling Chocobo too. I would appreciate it if you had no additional combat trick here. And you kill Rufus at the cost of a 5/3. Awesome. Light chance we're still in this. The Chocomog does sack itself. But now I have to deal with a bunch of 2/2 Chocobos off all the flashbacks. So it's a bit of it's a top deck war where we're very much not favored at all. But it is a top deck war enough that we could win. If we draw like a couple of the best cards in our deck, or just one of them, and then our opponent just draws lands, then there is a chance we win this. It's not a high chance, but it is a chance. And we gotta play to our outs here. Play towards that chance. Spits out 1/1s alongside their Chocobos they'll be flashing back into, so I need to Treachery that. I think I do it right now so that I have all my mana untapped for anything I draw into in case I hit the 6 drop. But I definitely need to kill that before they flash back any Chocobos. Perfect. Oh my god, it's perfect. Pretty glad I cast that right then. Now they have to tap out for a 2/2 Chocobo that just has to chump Odin. The one issue with Odin is I am at 1 life. I am at 1 life thanks to Odin. Still worth drawing the 2, I think, even if it puts me to 1, because it's not like green-white has black mages, so we'll just have to try to win this game at 1 life. I could sack Odin to the Phantom Train before I lose the 2 life, but I don't think I do. I think I draw the extra cards. Okay, so now that that's on a stack, I definitely sack it to the train. Okay, okay. A real shot now. Instant speed Slash of Light. For so much. For 5. Could play around a hexproof trick by having done that earlier. Oh! Well, I guess I'm glad I didn't cast it yet. They have Traveling Chocobo and Saws. They can tutor their Traveling Chocobo with Saws. Let's be real, I did Odin them. They have 2 traveling chocobos? Where am I? What world do I live in right now? Am I in Magical Christmas Land? Our opponent definitely is. Oh my god. These are both so bad for me. Saz doesn't give trample though, so I might kill the Traveler? Oh man. This keeps playing more cards. This is like drawing a bunch of cards. Saz is like just for attacks. Oh, it's so bad either way. I'm gonna default to the higher toughness card to make it more damage getting through with Phantom Train. Bad draw is bad. Could hit for 9 here. I'm 1 damage off if they don't block at all. Go to 5. Land off the top for Traveling Chocobo. And then whatever's in their hand. 6/6? That's gonna soak up the trample damage. Oh my god, and a Chocomog. They could even attack now, I think. Make me lose 2 creatures here to kill Traveling Chocobo. Or just make me lose one of them here, at the very least. Come on, top deck. Just not a land. Oh my god. Oh my god. Best draw on the deck. Says what's up. There's a concession from our opponent. That was stressful. The Odin down to 1 life. The double Traveling Chocobo Saz deck from our opponent. But we get there in the end, and that is 6-2. We have made it to the final battle, the final game of Magic for this draft, all the way to a potential 7-win run here as we head into the final boss with only 1 life here. No 1-ups to be had. This is going to be the final game of Magic for today's draft. Our opponent's avatar is Amonkhet Remastered? What was that? I don't know what that was not correct. Uh-oh. Delivery Moogle, but I already drew the Dragoon's Lance? We top deck Monk's Fist, that is some rough luck there. So let's hope we don't. There's Town Greeter. I wouldn't mind milling the Monk's Fist off these reinforcements here. I wouldn't mind milling Vincent. That's not fun. And milling Ambrosia when we have the Lance on board. Those are some good cards. Goodbye, my friends. Playing against Sultai, self-mill / ramp. They do kill the Lance token, where that Ambrosia would have been a great draw. Find Slash of Light here. So I can slash this 1/1, even if my slash is at a very low damage count. That way I can cornered by Black Mages. Much bigger card. Turn 4 for our opponent now. There's the final days for a couple 2/2s. No creatures for the flashback. I mean, there's one, but they're not going to spend 6 to get a single 2/2. And yeah, now cornered by black mages looks like it's just going to be awful. Anyway, let's just go all damage in the sky here. We're kind of racing. 6 a turn when they're at the 10 now is a lot of pressure, especially with a couple cornered by black mages pings next turn. Potentially. I guess I only have the mana to cast 2 of these. I could play the Fist and Slash and equip a Fist. So I'm really hoping they just like play a reach creature or flyer rather than any removal. Reach creature, flyer, reach creature, flyer. Nope, sack a creature, draw 2, try to find the removal. We got free reign right now. Do we get to slam for 6 again? That would be fantastic. Oh my god, we do. We're putting them to 4 here. 4 life. Against a black mage token? I think I'm cornering by black mages here. So the ping damage can finish them off now. And I get to play Fist and ping. It's almost as if I played and equipped the Fist, except I also keep a wizard token this way. And they lost 1 creature. They're at 3. Yeah, this should be a really difficult board state to survive on. Because, like, even if they kill all the flying creatures, I've still got the Lance for later. I have the Wizard token for pings. And there's the concession from our opponent. That is a trophy run here, 7-2. With this Orzhov deck. Pretty fun one. This one pretty standard stuff. It is doing what the black-white color pair wants to do. You want to be relatively aggressive, have a decent token and sacrifice little sub-plan going on. The most unique thing going on this deck is the Ring of the Lucy that I never cast. That always looked kind of bad. So, I think for the most part, this is just your standard Orzhov deck doing standard Orzhov things, but those things can be more than good enough, as we see. Yeah, not a ton to say here. Not a ton to say. Like, it's a little low on premium removal. A little low on good removal. It's got a corner by black mages, a treachery, a white aura sight. The Primal Odin helps a lot on that front, though. Didn't get to do any Vincent stuff. Vincent kind of just died or got milled every game. But we certainly got to do some Primal Odin stuff. That was fun. Delivery Moogle, always a premium card. That was consistently awesome. The Rufuses were great today. The Phantom Train was solid. Nice to be able to do some cool stuff with the Phantom Train. Basically the first time I think I've ever run it. That was probably the most unique thing in this deck. Like, we've played black-white several times before, but we haven't done the Phantom Train thing. The rest of this deck has looked pretty similar, though. A little bit of those drop select equipment. Those are both creature tokens and equipment to equip to your other stuff later. So they are artifacts for Judge Magister triggers and creatures for those triggers and help you go wide with Crystals Chosen type stuff. Yeah. This was a nice deck. I do think it punched a little bit above its weight class, though. I don't think I would expect this to get a trophy run. The majority of times, it's probably about a 5-3 on average, but a little bit of the better luck this time around, especially getting a 5 win streak in the end, 2-2 into 7-2. So yeah, some real great luck this draft, but that will be enough to carry us to victory for the full trophy run. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and you'd like to catch me live, you can check out the Twitch channel in the link in the description below. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. And other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.